In other news, City Council will vote tonight on whether it plans to annex land west, east and north of the city, something the RM of Sherwood is not in favor of. Tim Probe is Deputy Reeve of the RM and he joins us this morning. Tim, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Molly.
All right, let's get into this first of all. Can we have both the city's plan, which we've heard about in the last few weeks, and your plan, because I know you have economic plans as well? Can we have both of them?
I think they're fairly compatible in a lot of ways. It's just a matter of a little give and take on both sides. We're forging ahead on trying to have further discussions with the city and make it workable.
Okay, let's talk about your plan so that people get a reminder of what that Sherwood plan is all about. Our
plan is very similar to the city's in a lot of ways in terms of where their growth is, our growth is, where they want to put industrial, our industrial is. So it looks like it's going to work together in a lot of ways, just a matter of who does it or when they do it. South of the #1 highway has always been deemed for the city, from our perspective, for a number of years, someplace they weren't going to go. So, of course, our major announcement with Wascana Village is where that is supposed to go. So we think we're not hindering the city's growth. We understand they're going to grow, and we want them to grow. This is a capital region. This is a region that not just the RM of Sherwood or the city of Regina should be able to enjoy the economic benefits, but all the surrounding areas, whether it be Pence, whether it be Emerald Park, Pilot Butte.
Does it just come down to taxpayers and where they're paying their money then? Is that the underlying issue, if whether it's to the RM or if it's to the city? Is that the underlying issue now?
I believe there's, I think you're right in some respects. It's also where we can allow things to grow and maybe make it viable. I mean, there's always infrastructure problems, and if we can enhance that and work, and the city's always talking about P3 partners now because it's unaffordable. They have issues with a lot of their infrastructure, and we have issues with our infrastructure. In fact, we don't have a lot of it. So it's a matter of where the private developer, it's no different with us, where the developer Daniel Schmidt wants to develop Wascana Village or Harvard or Dundee. They're fronting a lot of the costs in terms of infrastructure. So
what, people that are waking up in Regina this morning and learning about this, what would you say is the benefit of having Wascana Village over the city's plan if it did go your way a little bit more?
It's an alternative lifestyle. The developments within the city seem to be going more towards smaller lot subdivisions, a lot more mixture. The Wascana Village, according to what we understand, will be a lifestyle choice. Larger lots, more community friendly. It's a vision of the developer to create that, I think, that beautiful wonderland kind of scenario.
Very different than what you would see in Regina.
I believe it's going to be, I don't know about very different, but it's going to be definitely different.
Okay.
And I think it's going to offer that alternative life for people who want it.
Now, the vote for the city's plan, of course, is going up against City Council tonight. Most of the people on the Executive Council or on City Council, they already passed this through. The odds are probably it's going to be a yes. I mean, what is your plan then, right after that? Well,
we have to understand annexation is a very strong term and a word that there's a lot more process that has to go on after they choose to do what they choose to do. But we've had contact with the provincial government as well, and there's going to be discussions going to happen between both our parties. The provincial government introduced Bill C-90 for a reason, for situations where if we can't agree, they'll make a decision, which I totally endorse. But at the same time, what I'm suggesting here is annexation. It still has to be a two-way street. I can't just come and take your house and then just say here. There has to be a negotiation process first.
Tim, thank you for being here today.
Well, thanks, Molly.
We appreciate your comments, and of course, the next time we have Mayor Fougere on, we're going to ask him some questions about this as well.
Fantastic. Thank you again.
Mayor Michael Fougere joins us in studio this morning. Thanks for being there and here and everywhere.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Let's talk about this annexation plan. Why is this, what the city decided to go ahead with? Why is this the best solution?
Well, we have 17 landowners around the city who have written to us requesting to be annexed into the city for city services so they can build more houses, more commercial and industrial development. But it's also an expression of the growth and confidence in our economy. Every city in Canada and the United States does this. This is how we grow. Cities grow outward, and our population is growing, and we're trying to accommodate that growth. We have a 1% vacancy rate, one of the lowest in Canada for a major city, and we need more space for more homes.
What are the rules around, I mean, this is part of the RM of Sherwood, what are the rules around annexing land that, you know, is already a part of their area, some would say?
Well, this is not arbitrary. This is a planned growth, and the RM of Sherwood has been aware of this for some time. In fact, the annexation that we have going forward is in their community plan. They have known this for months. So they're aware of what this is going to be, and these are certain areas around the city, not the entire RM of Sherwood. This is in the urban fringe around the city, so it's a very small area of the RM, their land space. So there should be no conflict at all, and they're aware of this, and we're growing as a community, and they benefit as well as we do.
And the RM has talked about that there was a lack of communication between them and the city. How would you defend that?
Well, I'll be very clear on this. We met with them 3 times, sharing their information with them. They've incorporated our maps of growth into their official community plan. They're aware of this. I'll just say that we've talked to them, they're aware of it. They may not like the process we're going through, but it's a legitimate process that the province is aware of, and we have a unanimous agreement to go forward. We will go forward on annexation.
Now, the RM of Sherwood, of course, came up with their own economic plan of developing and contributing to perhaps the housing crunches as well. You know, why is it better to go with the city's plan versus the RM's plan?
Well, we're not sure what the RM's plan is. They do have, in their OCP, they actually have boxed the city in for growth, so if we followed their plan, the city could not grow at all. We'd be physically locked in. The development they have in the southeast part of the city, attached to the city, we don't know what that is yet either. It looks like it's a city the size of Swift Current, and we're not sure that's sustainable, how that could be serviced, how it impacts our community, our ratepayers, how it affects our roads, our recreation services. Unaware what that is. We are not allowed to be in the room when that was discussed, and we feel that was coming up at the last moment. So the RM of Sherwood grows in terms of rural municipality. They don't build cities. This is actually a city the size of Swift Current, so it's a bit unusual to see that happen.
And they were saying that the lifestyle that they're proposing is maybe different, larger lots. It's a little different than being outside the city. Is that you see that as a benefit, I guess, to people even coming to Saskatchewan, maybe looking and saying, hey, that's a neat.
That's legitimate. We have no issue with that whatsoever. Again, we're talking about a very, very small section or piece of the RM of Sherwood's jurisdiction. The ring around the city. They're much larger than the city is geographically, so we're talking about a very small area of the city. If they want to have country living suites, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. But we're just saying, when you're near the city, give us an opportunity to grow, to meet our expectations for long-term sustainable growth, economic growth for our community. This is what the province has for its own growth strategy. That's our growth strategy as well.
Mayor Fougere, is this really just a tax issue? Who gets the tax money?
It could be for the Sherwood side, but for our side, it's about sustainable growth and ensuring that we meet our expectations of growth. We have the fastest growing economy in the country. We have the lowest unemployment rate. We have people coming in coming here to grow. We want sustainable growth right now. That's why we want to help those 17 landowners develop their land as well.
Mayor Fougere, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And of course, we will see you in a couple of weeks, I'm sure.